You know, there are many days on the calendar I'm not too fond of. And when October looms around, I get a little emotional. And it's an emotion that I've had for a very long time. To be precise, October 18th is the anniversary I got diagnosed with Asperger syndrome. What exactly is this? Well, it was the date that I was officially diagnosed through a psychologist and my then therapist with this condition. So technically, I'm a high functioning autistic. And it hit me pretty hard because for the first more than a quarter century of my life, nobody knew what was wrong with me. No friends, never dated. Um, Good worker, but overall, not really normal. The intelligence is there, but brutal honesty and bluntness was just, it was prominent during that time. And it turns out it's not my culture or my personality, it's a disability that I have. I didn't know I had one until that fateful day in October 18th. So, all I can say is that I learned a lot in the process, that I'm not the only one with this, and the cases keep growing and growing and growing. I can't give you an honest uh, amount compared to years ago, compared to now, because I really never looked into the numbers. But you get the picture. So you're probably betting, how on earth did you get diagnosed with this? Let me explain. When you graduate from a post-secondary institution like I have, people expect you to get a job. I've had lots of interviews, but I never had a job at all. Coming from those interviews that I got, a friend of the family said something's wrong with this guy, and she read an article, and she knew right off the bat it was my characteristics of brutal honesty, bluntness, not getting jobs, not keeping a job. I've had few I've been let go from, but you get the picture. But anyhow, bottom line, it was on a fateful February of the same year that I got diagnosed, which was 8 months prior. Here I am with my mom, dad, the social worker, me, and my sister, getting a pretty good idea of what I have. Every 6 weeks, I had to go see the therapist, and every 6 weeks, I plunkered down whatever he wanted. It wasn't cheap back in the day. So, with that being said, now if I went back to him, ODSP would pay for it, Ontario Disability Support Program. But, you know, according to my therapist, most people in my condition are like me, articulate, loners, um, don't have a firm grasp of life itself, if you know what I mean. I have collections, I have my OCD, I may have my occasional Tourette's syndrome things, talking to myself or what have you. Um, I do have a little bit of ADD. Everybody has either drops of it or prominent traits of it. Depression, anxiety comes with the territory. What more can you ask? It is what it is. So, ever since I got the diagnosis, I was with an agency which is now online, and they gave me 8 weeks of social skills training. That's quite a lot of time. That's pretty much a sixth of the year. You're learning this. And other people before me, they took another course on top of that prior to going in because they had probably worse issues than I have. I'm not willing to divulge what they had, but you know, it is what it is. So 8 weeks. First 3 weeks were in one building, and the other 5 weeks were in another building because the lease on the previous one was expiring. So they had to move to the new one. And, you know, it was more of a revelation of what I'd done wrong and what I needed to do right. They took our strengths and our weaknesses to our advantage. 8 weeks, 3 hours a day for 4 days a week. You got the weekends off, which was good. Transportation was paid, which was good. One individual just didn't get it, and his was the second time around. And there were people in the program that I was in. They had potential to graduate with flying colors. I was one of them, thankfully. Now, when you have this condition, it's always a good idea to know what triggers it and what are the strengths and weaknesses with it. Well, my brutal honesty is one. Many women want a very honest guy. Most guys aren't honest. They will lie to you, and they will tell you what you need to know or what you have to know. So women date a guy with Asperger syndrome, the honesty's there. Trust me. The commitment is there. Believe me. The love is there. Believe me. And they're less likely to stab you in the back. Normal people, when they find somebody else, will stab them in the back and cheat on them, which is wrong. With that being said, because of misunderstandings of people like me, we never date or get married. The percentage of people in my condition getting married are very low. Probably less than 5%. I don't know. You need to look up the numbers because I sure as hell can't. Relationships are very low with people like me. Why? Because neurotypicals rather be with other neurotypicals. We're a little bit odd. We may be a little bit obsessive compulsive with certain things, but we have heart. We always have, we always will. You just got to give us a chance. Where can you meet people like us? Comic-Cons, other places which pique their interest. Online is probably your best bet, but they will never say on the profile on Facebook or Twitter or whatever they have Asperger syndrome unless they freely put it on. Me, no. But I do make awareness of it so often. I don't do videos like this often, but I should, just for the benefit of the masses who don't have the balls to say it like it is. Okay? So, with that being said, ever since I had the diagnosis, I had 3 jobs. One lasted summertime, no, 6 months. Another one lasted a little while. And the one I'm in now, I've been doing this for 12 years. I'm a cashier at a major supermarket, and I'm the most highly decorated employee in that supermarket. I'm not going into specific details because who knows is listening to this and they're going to say, oh, I can't believe you just said that. Well, I'm not going to go into specifics because that's another video all on its own, but I don't think I'm going to do that just yet. But you get the picture. So, in conclusion, when you're dealing with people with Asperger syndrome, treat them with respect, love, and honesty because we never get any of the 3 from other people. We're misunderstood, but we're very bright. So organizations would use us as ideas people, and they use us for intellectual jobs. If they can see through all the annoyances they bring in the interview because they're nervous. So that's all I'm going to say about my condition, and hopefully you learned something from it. Feel free to comment and ask me anything. The door is open. Take care.